Opinion disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by Just Our Opinion podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any of our sponsors. Any content provided by our guest or authors are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, anyone, or anything.
Funny thing about love is you never really know when it's coming, but you better believe you'll know when it's there. True story. I must have been searching, though I wasn't looking for much. Checking out the scene, wasn't trying to get my numbers up. You know I keep it cool. I prefer to stay in the cut. Don't want no attention on me when I'm trying to shake the blues up off me. But then I saw your face, it caused my heart to race. Girl, you're looking like $1 million. Something about the way you strut your stuff. Oh, girl, you're fine as you wanna. What I'm supposed to do? Something told me got time to lose. Go ahead and bust a move. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart exposed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And if it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Fall back just a little. Don't wanna lead you on. Don't wanna push a feeling and make the feeling gone. You see, I got your number, but still I ain't used the phone. No, I let it breathe for a minute, baby. Next thing I know, you call. Damn. One thing I know about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure know it when it does. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure it's what you want. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart exposed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And when it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Yeah. One thing I know
Mike, what's that?
about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure know it when it does. Yeah.
Just don't do that.
I know about
No, my headphones is up too high.
you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure.
Happy Wednesday and what's good?
We are good.
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Happy Wednesday and happy Black History Month.
Happy Black
Right.
History Month. And before I go any further, happy birthday, Ty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Nobody
very
care
much.
about his birthday.
We care. We care.
I don't.
The latest scale.
No,
Welcome
we
to Just Our Opinion with Robin.
don't. Mike.
And Ty.
Man, today we are having an interesting discussion. This discussion is for all of y'all that are divorced, all of you that are contemplating divorce. We need to really dive into this because you need to know what you're walking into. We're talking about how divorce affects future relationships.
Yeah, that's gonna be hot.
So make sure you buckle your seatbelts, get ready to interact with us, have some good conversation with us. If you've been divorced, if you're thinking about divorce, we want to hear from you tonight. Y'all ready, fellas?
Let's do it.
Let go. Turn my headphones down. What is wrong with you?
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win.
I just came here to win.
To W.I.
You know what? I'm excited. Lazar mentioned something about the Taste of Black Spirits event. Don't forget that the Taste of Black Spirits event is coming up at the end of the month. We got Liquid on Friday.
Yeah.
We got the Taste of Black Spirits event on that Saturday.
Yeah, all
I'm
that.
so excited. I also saw that they're doing bottle signings this weekend at the store on Evergreen and 10 Mile.
Park Place?
Park Place Liquor on Evergreen and 10 Mile. They have Duke and Dame in the building from 5 to 9 on Friday. Island John is in the building on Saturday. I believe it was from 1 to 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So make sure you guys go buy you some bottles, get your bottle signs. You get to meet the owners. Everything that's going to be absolutely amazing. But what I was saying was I'm really excited because Lazar said that he wanted to come out at Liquid to the JOO theme song.
Yeah, that's going to
So that is going to be so fire. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get that footage. That is going to be absolutely amazing. I am really, really excited about that. And speaking of things that I am really, really excited about, next Wednesday, we got the beautiful, the talented Miss Mara Hill on the show next week.
Yep. For that.
The beautiful, the talented Miss Mara Hall will be joining us. We're gonna have a relationship chat next week. We don't give you guys the topic ahead of time, but I know we're gonna talk something. We're gonna discuss some toxicities in relationships next week, and we're gonna talk about her new book, Love Bombing.
Yes, I can't wait.
So I'm really, really excited to have her join us at the table next week. Make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all tell y'all friends to tune in. She's doing the second stop on her book tour, and she'll be in Detroit. So she has a whole list of events that she's doing that weekend in Detroit as well. So we will make sure we have that information for you next week. But I'm really, really excited to have her sit at the table, to have her grace the table, and just kick it with us about her projects and the shows that she's done and her book and things about her book. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be hot.
Good conversation.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna dive into some of that toxicities in relationships.
Why are you looking at me like I'm all the toxic?
You are the toxicity in relationships.
Whatever.
Toxic tie.
So those are some of the things that I am just elated about that we have coming up. So make sure y'all in the building for Taste of Black Spirits.
Right.
Make sure y'all are watching next week while we got Mara sitting at the table. Yeah. Just listen, J.O. is doing some big things. We also got another project that we're working on that I cannot wait. The beautiful Miss Marshall Favors has been working really hard on, and we've been helping her work on it, and I'm so excited about it. It's amazing. It's Black History Month. We going all black everything. We are supporting and we are doing that thing with Black History this month. I'm so excited.
Yep, definitely.
So without further ado, we're going to get into our topic. But before we get into our topic, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. I don't have to do this every week. I don't have to pump y'all up every week. I don't have to cheerlead y'all every week. Stop what you're doing. Look down at your phone.
Because I'm about to ruin
the image and the style that
you used to.
What's in his coffee? A
whole lot of LS.
Shout out to LS Cream Liqueur in that coffee.
This is LS with a shot of coffee.
Shout out to LS Cream Liqueur that I put in that coffee.
No, you put coffee in the LS.
Shout out to LS Cream Liqueur.
Right. It's gonna be one of them.
Another one that's gonna be a Taste of Black Spirits. Yeah, sure. I'm sure him and his beautiful wife will be there, and I'm so excited about that as well. But y'all know what time it is. Get ready to share that page.
Let's
hit that
do
beat.
It.
Go. Okay, this is a little dark.
Okay. All right.
Come with them flows. Chewy. Sandwiches and ice cream.
Share that page. Let's go. Come on, share that page. Come on,
share that page.
Come on,
share that page.
Listen, you gotta share the page, or it's gonna be a problem. It's JOO, you know I can solve them. I'm on the crew.
Gangsta rap.
Me and you. This is gangsta rap off of the dome. You know how we do. I'm off beat, but I'm about to catch it back. marriage. And if you don't, you better get feared. Cause it's J-O-O and we on the way to the top. And everybody know when Mike Jones drop. And this ain't 811-280-330.
Yep.
So you know you gotta drop it for sure. Now share that page.
Share that page.
Come on.
Share that page.
Come on.
Share that page.
Come on.
Share that page. All right. Off the Dome Records,
I don't know.
coming with another hot one. I mean, that was gangster rap.
Did you feel it? Did
That
you
was-
feel the?
that was
Were you scared?
Gangsta, that was definitely.
Yeah, we might have to
gangsta
slap
rap.
some people if they don't share the page.
Look.
We tired of asking.
Listen, we on our Death Row Records on Share the Page right now. We hanging you off buildings if you don't share the page. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was some straight up.
We've been asking, now we telling.
Wait, look, now we telling you. Listen, if I don't see them share numbers go up, we riding up at everybody's house,
Right.
laying hands. We slapping people for not sharing the page.
With this beat in the background.
We've been doing this too long at this point.
We
Y'all
about
know
to-
what it is
We about to ride on people.
for sharing the page.
Share that
It's going
page, you
down.
riding.
Let me see your
We
shares.
starting our own gang.
Listen.
One way or the other.
J-O-O riders.
It's JOO. Did you share that page?
Excuse me.
Let me see your phone.
Right. For
Check
sure.
that laptop.
You better share it right now, fool. Shit.
Right.
Had to go gangsta on them real quick.
So again, we are talking about how does divorce affect future relationships. And one of the reasons why we wanted to break this topic down is because unfortunately coming out of COVID, coming out of lockdowns and things like that, two things happen with relationships.
Kids and divorce.
Yep.
New kids and
Basically.
divorce.
What I was going to say is they either got stronger because y'all took that opportunity to get to know each other, to bond and things like that, or they completely fell apart. So there's a lot of people that I know right now, just personally, that are staring divorce in the face.
Right.
There is an attack on marriage right now. The
Right.
enemy is attacking marriage, and that's because even the Bible says when two or more are gathered, right? So marriage makes two or more. So,
Right.
you know, the devil don't want nothing that two or more is gathered together. You know,
Right.
they don't
He
want two
trying to
people. They don't want two
separate and
people.
divide.
They don't want two people in agreement on nothing. You know what I'm saying? So marriage is being attacked right now. So we want to give you guys kind of the outlook on what happens and how do future relationships look after divorce. I can't really speak much on this topic. This is my second marriage.
Right.
However, anybody that knows me knows that my first marriage was, you know, like the divorce didn't bother me. The marriage was barely there, you know, so I don't necessarily feel like I had to date after divorce. Like, me and Vaughn right now, this is basically my first marriage. You know, this is the first, you know, where we have assets together and we have children and, you know, we've been together a long time. So, you know, I don't necessarily have a dog in this fight. So guys, I'm going to lean on you two to help me with what relationships after divorce looks like.
I mean, for me, like after my first, because I've been married twice and divorced twice. So like after the first one, it was just tough for me to, the first thing was like, dang, this is like, the world was like crushed because it was just like, I had a different picture. I'm like, nah, I want the long 40-year marriage with the, you know, all these expectations, and it wasn't realistic. So life, once that happened, life was just like, wait a minute. Like, okay, now you got your first kid and y'all divorced and it's over. And it's just like, okay, now what? So immediately after that, I was like, you know what? I tried to do this little phase where it was just like stuff I wasn't built for. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be a player. I'm just gonna go out here and just be doing it, blah blah blah. Out here, I wasn't built for it. So it was just like, nah, this ain't me
wasn't
either.
built for the streets.
I wasn't. No, like I tried to fake it, and look where it got me, and made wrong decisions and this, that, and the other. That, you know, it ultimately, you know, cost me a lot more heartache and pain than out here trying to be something that I'm not. But I told myself, I was like, no, I ain't falling in love no more. Like, I'm not gonna love nobody no more.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's kind of the first place that I wanted to start. I want to start this thing by breaking down when you go through a divorce, the heal time that's needed before you start trying to date and get into a relationship. Because if you don't heal, you do make bad decisions. You know, you make emotional, non-emotional decisions, because in your mind, you know, I'm not caring, you know, they're not emotional decisions, but the truth of the matter is that's exactly what they are. You know, you're filling a gap, so to speak, that you're dealing with mentally and emotionally, and you can really make things a hell of a lot worse in the process.
Yeah, like, I mean, I love my second daughter. I love her to death, but that wasn't in the plan. That wasn't planned. That was just from like, okay, yeah, you can roll through. Then that roll through turned into, yeah, you can stay the night. Then that stay the night turned into, nah, I ain't gotta, you know, I'm comfortable now, this, that, and the other. So now I'm too comfortable, and 9 months later, that's what my comfortability got.
Right.
Right.
Well, I think there's different relationships that you have to get in tune with after your divorce or breakup. That very first relationship, especially for men, that you have to rebuild is the relationship of your pockets, because your pockets are about to hurt, and they're gonna hurt real bad. And it's gonna be very, very, very painful. And it's gonna take you a while to rebuild those pockets. Because I remember after my first marriage, after my first divorce, you know, I got. It's just sad when you got divorce experience. You've been in the game so long.
You a professional,
like I'm a professional in divorce.
So what's gonna happen is
right. So, but no, yeah, when you're together, you don't realize how many assets that you build together, how much debt you have together, how much you guys are supporting each other when it comes to paying the bills. Even if as a guy you paying 100% of the bills, and you thinking that, well, it ain't gonna bother me because when we get divorced,
she doing that extra stuff.
Yeah, well, not only that, when you get divorced, not only are you gonna still be paying 100% of your bills, depending on how long you guys have been married, you may have to pay alimony, which is still some of her bills, and you may have to pay child support. And you gonna have to give her half of everything you saved up. So them pockets is gonna hurt for a minute, and that relationship gonna be strained. So that's the first relationship you got to get back in order. That relationship of your pockets.
So it's funny because, like I said, for me, my first marriage was kind of void. You know, it didn't bother me any. However, I did walk out the dating and relationship after divorce with my current husband, you know, because I'm his second wife. So I walked it out on the other side of things. Yeah. And one of the things that he told me that stuck in my head was, when it came to his divorce, there was no amount of money that was worth his freedom and his peace of mind. Mm-hmm. So when it came down to the divorce, it was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take this L, you know, yeah, I'm gonna have to pay her X, Y, and Z. However, I'm gonna get my peace back. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get love back in my life. I'm gonna get commitment back in my life, you know. So it was worth it for him.
Right.
Like,
well, my piece got a price tag on it.
The first thing I feel like
she trying to get, we about to work this out.
See, that's if it comes to your ties pockets, it's like that's first line of defense. Like, but still,
I get what he was saying and everything, but yes, it makes sense. But I mean, depending on how much that piece costs. And I mean, it's not like you have a choice anyway. In Michigan, we're a no-fault state. So you can be in love all you want. If the other person want to get out, it's a wrap.
Yeah, that's
need their
that's scary.
Approval.
Like for me, to me, is like the anxiety of starting over, like, period. Whether it's starting over, getting to know somebody new, and I did it. Like I was like, you know, of course, because I had end up getting married again, and it's like that other person always will probably feel like there's something in you that's missing, because they realize that at one point in time, yeah, you love this person, and now you're hurt or broken, and here I come along, and like you said, to your point, Robin, it's like, how much heal time in between?
Right.
Well, I had thought it was enough time. I'm like, I'm good now, you know,
Right.
I'm fine, but you don't understand the stuff that you bringing into the second one that never gets resolved because it's you. Like, I totally take accountability for it.
You know what?
You got to have some time to have that other relationship and work on that other relationship, that relationship of yourself.
Absolutely.
Getting to know you, where you at, getting to know what about you caused the breakup. Or
you have to be able to take accountability.
Yeah, getting to know what it is that you want now in life. So you got to have that relationship too. And sometimes that relationship takes longer to mend before you get into that other relationship with somebody else.
Yeah, but what happens when you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm over that, but then you don't even, like, now you in the thick of it, like now you done looked up and you married again, and you like, dang, I didn't really resolve all those
But that's
issues.
the relationship with, you're over the relationship with the ex-wife, but did you take care of the relationship with you?
So I'm gonna give it to you from the second wife or the girlfriend you're dating after divorce. That side of it, we see that. You know, whether you guys admit it or not, we know and acknowledge that there's some healing that needs to be done. Or even like in my case, there were still some bad habits that my husband brought in from his previous marriage. You know, there's some trust issues that he brought in from his previous marriage. You know, the moment I did something that even kind of looked like some bull crap that she did, you know, it was, you know, DEFCON 5 in this boy, you know, but one of the things you have to realize in trying to date after marriage is you have to give that next person a clean slate. You can't go into dating after marriage holding the next person accountable
right,
for the things that your previous spouse did. If your previous spouse cheated on you and the way they cheated on you was, you know, they, I don't know, started a podcast and, you know, was going out. Well, the next person, just because they got a podcast don't mean they cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and that's just an example. That's not something I went through, but it's just the point of, you know, you bring your past baggage from your first relationship into your second relationship. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know if there's ever a heal from that, to be honest.
And see, that's the point that I want to speak to.
It's a heal from it.
It's tough, bro. Like,
it's tough
to see something that looks very familiar on both sides of the fence and not be skeptical, not be afraid, not your antennas go up, because it's just like, hold on, this starting to look very familiar, and I feel the same way about certain things. And then, like you said, holding yourself accountable. I'm
fixing you.
Right.
Yeah.
Very jealous and insecure off rip, because I always went into it like it's me and you now, and everybody else is second and third and fourth and fifth. And it's just like, why are you fostering relationships with X, Y, and Z, ABC when I'm here? And I doubt that's a foolish. Let me be honest. For anybody out there that's insecure or feel like once you get married, that it's just y'all two in the world. Like, I hear people say that all the time. It's just me and you now. No, because you setting yourself up for, if you're a person that was like me, for disappointment.
Right.
And that causes issues and problems because you're not letting the other person breathe. So like a lot of the things that led to my first divorce and my second one, I know exactly what those things are now. Like, and it took some time. Like, you talking about the healing process. Once you sit and start to think like, dang, that's why. And it's not till you by yourself and thinking to yourself like, dang, I messed that up. Right. And you have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah,
for it.
I always think or I have always thought there is no 100% blame in a divorce. It was never 100% his fault or 100% her fault. The reason why we got divorced, I believe each party shares some percentage in that divorce.
Absolutely.
Whether it's 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, 90-10.
I didn't have any percentage in my first divorce.
You had some percentage.
I had none.
You had some percentage.
I'm divorced. He was a crackhead. Did I make him go smoke crack?
Yep. Maybe your goodness wasn't giving him enough high, so he had to use
Did
crack.
I make him smoke crack?
Yes.
Like, no, I did not.
But
Like,
see,
Yes,
it's different.
you shared some.
No, it's different.
something.
It's different.
It's different, but there is no 100%.
Dude, you cannot compare somebody that's abusing themselves to like.
No,
Okay.
this is why I say
Story
it's
time.
not 100%.
Story time.
Because as much as you say I am horrible or whatever the case, I'm a crackhead, I steal from you and your mom. I got TVs galore, but there is something about you I don't like too.
okay, so story time. What led to my divorce? This is even before I found out he was smoking crack. I found out he was smoking crack after this happened. So my ex-husband was a truck driver, and I was sitting at home one night. It was probably about 5 a.m, and my phone rang. And actually, it was like old school chirp. And my phone goes off. So I'm like, why is he chirping me at 5 o'clock in the morning? Now, interestingly enough, at the time, I was working at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was weird, but not really weird.
Right.
Okay, he knows I'm up, right? But he was on the road. And so then after the chirp went off, he didn't say anything. My phone rang. So I answered my phone. It was from his phone. So I'm thinking he's calling me to say good morning, whatever the case may be. I answer the phone and I go, hello? And nobody said anything. And I said, hello? And nobody said anything. So then I go, hello? A girl goes, hello?
Oh,
I pause for a bit and I'm like, hello? And she's like, is this so-and-so's wife?
Right.
I said, who the F is this?
right.
And she says, is this so-and-so's wife? I said, and I'm going to ask you again.
Right. Y'all going
Who the
back.
F is this?
Right.
She says, oh, my name is Jazz and I'm effing your husband. I said, okay, are you with him right now? And she was like, yeah, he sleep. I said, tell him to call me when he get up.
Not when they get up.
Tell him to call me when he get. Don't even wake him. Don't wake him, girl. Don't wake him. Don't wake him.
Let him get his rest.
Let him rest. Don't wake him. Don't wake him.
Wait, that's wild.
Don't
Go
wake
ahead.
him. Tell him to call me when he get up.
I don't want him hurt.
I need him to sleep. You know. So the whole day he never called me because I guess when he woke up, she told him like, I called your wife. You know what I'm saying? I called your wife. So he never called me. So I'm like, oh, okay. So now you're not gonna call me, right? So then I guess he hopped on the road, came back home. He was in Atlanta. He hopped on the road, came back home. So 12 hours later, he gets home and he goes to his mother's house.
Oh yeah, he already knows. what's
So
up.
he called me and was like, well, we need to talk. I said, then come home.
Right.
He was like, we need to talk. I'm at my mama's house. Come over here. I said, why won't
Security.
you? I said, why won't you come home?
He knows.
Because you've been crazy all your life.
I said, so why?
He may have been a crackhead, and he was stupid.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I said, well, why won't you come home?
Just like that, too.
And he said, literally, call the text.
know.
I said, so why won't you come home?
No.
He said, because Robin, I know you.
Right.
I said, then if you know me, you know that I will cut a fool here or at your mama house.
Right.
So why you acting like the same smoke you gonna get here, I ain't gonna bring there?
Save
Like,
yourself some dignity, sir. And come
don't
on.
let your mama see this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to still be rational.
Don't
with
let
this.
your mama see this. Like, at least if they gonna call the police, let it be to our crib. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm bringing all the smoke over there if I have to come there.
Right.
He still thought that that's not how that was gonna go.
Right.
So I took all the smoke
To his mama house.
to his mama house.
Ooh.
But at that point, it's like, first of all, you knew you was wrong. You didn't have no explanation. And you decided not to come home and address me like an adult, like a man. So what we need to do this for? So when he came back to the house, which it was like maybe 4 or 5 days later, he finally decided to come back. It was like 4 or 5 days later. He decided to come back to the house.
He thought 4 or 5 days you was gonna be.
He thought I was gonna be calmer, but I was a special kind of savage back then. So when he came back to the house, I told him, I said, well, you need to come get your stuff. So when he came to the house to get his stuff, it was another dude's shoes at the foot of the bed.
Oh.
He was like, whose shoes is these? What difference do it make? Get your stuff and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was a different kind of savage back then. I was Beyonce, to the left, to the left. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get your stuff and go. But I joke about not having to heal through that. But in all actuality, I did, because any dude that I dated from there on out that showed any signs of an affair, any signs of cheating, I had an issue with. When I met my husband, and he wasn't similar to my ex-husband. He was actually doing things that was similar to an ex-boyfriend of mine. The situations were similar. Things started looking the same. And me and my current husband had some real issues at the beginning of our relationship, because I had just came down off of a 5-year relationship where I had gone through hell and high water with this dude. And I don't mind, admitting my faults and admitting my issues. I was his side chick for 5 years. He was good and married. I was wrong, granted, but that's what it was. So when I met my husband and he's going through this divorce thing and all that stuff, some of the stuff seemed familiar, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna be no side chick no more. I'm not putting myself through that anymore. And even though that wasn't what my husband was trying to portray or trying to do to me, it still seemed familiar to me. So we almost didn't make it, because I'm like, I have been broke down, hurt, and to be quite honest with you, the dude that I dated was probably what I would consider not the first, but one of the real loves that I had. Like I'm talking like one of the ones that really broke me down, one of the ones that really hurt me. So when I started seeing things that were similar, it was like, oh no, dude, I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna be your side chick. I'm not gonna be your chick. I'm not gonna be your creep chick. Like, I'm not gonna be, if you married, you need to go on about your business. You need to go be with your wife, because either you gonna be with me or you gonna be with her.
See, like,
yeah, I mean, that kind of happened with my second wife as well. So before I even met my second wife, I was already going through the divorce process with my first. Had the papers filed, the whole 9 yards. We was just going through the court procedures. And I met my second wife and we started talking, dating or whatever. And I thought she knew I was going through a divorce, but we worked for the same company, and she found out through the grapevine that I was getting divorced. Everybody in our company knew I was getting divorced, and I thought she knew. And so she was pissed off, rightfully so. But before she would move any forward, I had to show her the paperwork, all the court signings, everything.
And it's quite possible that she had been in the side chick situation before.
Maybe so.
Because that's what it was for me. Like, I had been there. So because I had been there and I had been hurt in this process before, because of course when you a married dude side chick, he's singing you all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't love her. I only love you.
I'm only with her for the kids.
You know what I'm saying? I'm only here because of the house and blah 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 blah. And I don't want to be with her. It's just not the right time to leave. It was. He was gassing. He was completely gassing me up. But when it came down to it, I ended up hurting the situation. Rightfully so. I was his side chick. And I knew I was his side chick. I was wrong. However, when I met my husband and we went to dating, and even him going through the divorce process, everything he said, I was going through with a fine tooth comb. Every interaction he had, I was magnifying glass on it, because it was like, absolutely not. You are not going to string me along. You are not going to gas me up. I will not be here again. So it was difficult. It wasn't a divorce I was dating after. It was just a long-term relationship that I was dating after. But it still had the same amount of hurt. It had the same amount of insecurities attached to it. And it was still hard.
Just less crack.
Exactly. Less crack.
Like for me, it's just it's just, you stupid. For me, it was just more so like, when I love somebody, if I'm at that level of love with somebody, I actually actually love them. And it's hard for me to just be like, well, I don't love you no more. So some remnants of all of that just keep carrying on. And now, like, even in the current situation, it's just like, I know now, right now, at this very moment, I have no business seriously dating nobody. I have no business trying to be in a relationship with nobody. Marriage is so far from my mind. But it's only fair for me to explain that to anybody that may have present that to me like, oh, I'm really feeling you, this, that, and other. I got to be like, listen, let me tell you, that ain't what I'm looking for. This ain't what I want. Cause
you working on you.
Yeah.
So I do have a couple comments I want to go through. The first one I want to go through is it says, congratulations, Ty, you're getting older. LOL.
Who said that? Who said that? Was that Angel?
No, it was Ty.
Oh.
We do have a comment from Marshall, and it says, happy birthday, Ty. So I did want to read
Thank
those
you
first.
kindly.
We have a comment from Nia, and it says, Mike, you are right. Starting over gave me real bad anxiety.
Yeah. And that's like, just to pause on that one. Was you done on
Yeah,
that?
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So that's a big fear, because like you we so in love, this, that, and the other, and y'all building and making moves and this, that, and the other. And for me, like, I had made sacrifices for like leaving family to go pursue this, like, out of state, like detaching myself from my core family and being away. So it was more sacrifices and things like that. But, you know, I'm sure they made sacrifices too.
Right.
But at the end of the day, to do all of that, and then all of a sudden, bam, it ain't working out no more. You're like, all right, now I got to reboot, start over, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's
Again.
starting
And then
over, yeah.
And then you do it again.
Right.
And it's like, nah, bro, I'll be darned. And I'm putting it light. And I'm telling you, like, from this day forward, I will never put myself in a position to have to start over again.
Yeah, that starting over thing, that's a big one for me too, because I'm a future planner. So I make plans for myself and my family of where we're going to be or what we need to do
5 years, 10 years, yep,
years
absolutely.
from now. And I work on stuff now to get that. And that was something I was working on with my ex, or what we were looking to do 5-10 years from now, what our plans were. We're working towards that. And then in the middle of it,
you hit the reset
right,
button on
you
me.
divorced. Now I got to reset all the plans, reset everything.
Yeah.
You know, that sucks.
And so when you while you doing that reset and you trying to figure it out, like yeah, I still want to have a social life. I still want to go out. I still want to do adult things. But
right,
it's just
still
like,
want the circle.
yeah, but it's like, I don't want, keep the rest of that. Like, that's just where I'm at with. I love the idea of marriage and people that's married and they making it work. Congratulations, I love it, but it just ain't gonna happen for me.
So we have another comment, and it's from Ty, and it says, thank you for being transparent. It's a beautiful thing to be honest and owning up. Real testimonies are life-changing for women my age, because I'm not married, but my relationship's been horrible, and I don't want to mess up my current relationship because my past with others. And I'm really, I thank you for that transparency as well. But what I really want to say is that's something you have to consciously and actively
Work on yourself.
work on and not do.
Right.
You cannot blame your current relationship or the person you're currently in a relationship for the sins of your past relationships.
Right.
And
It's
that
not
is
right.
Well, if you really trying to get over stuff, you can't even blame the past relationship for the sins of the past relationship.
Yeah, you
If
gotta be able to
trying
let it go.
Get
Yep.
over. Yeah, you gotta completely let it go.
You got to be able to let it go.
Right.
And don't get me wrong. We are all telling you stuff that sounds real good in theory.
Right.
Yeah.
On
we
paper.
We are telling you stuff that if you go to a counselor and they sit down and they're telling you the steps to take, it sounds amazing in theory, but it's easier said than done.
Yeah,
But
because
you gotta
emotions
do
and
it.
feelings is involved. Like,
Right.
even currently, I'm going through it now. But if I call, I talk to my kids, this, that, and other state. You've been knowing, like, for me, it was well over 10 years. So it was just like, hey, how you doing? you how do you just not care about somebody's well-being and feelings? You just don't.
You have
and
to,
then if you with somebody else, they see that. What the hell you mean?
Right.
How's she doing?
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
You have to, for me, you have to separate being in love, loving someone, and having love for someone. You got to separate the three. Like, I still have love for my ex because of who they are, the mother of my kids, both of my ex and stuff like that. But I'm not in love with them, or I don't, it's not love like that. It's not the relationship
but
type
see,
love.
you may understand that, but to the person that you trying to date, they may not know what that is. That's the problem I'm looking at.
For me, I got lucky in mine, and I'm not gonna lie. I hate to say it like this. It's probably wrong as heck for me to say like this, but I got lucky. And the way I got lucky was because my husband's ex-wife was so nasty to him in the process, and did so many nasty things even after the process with their daughter that was a minor at the time, and just was so nasty and did so many ugly things that he literally, at the moment their daughter turned 18, was like, there is nothing that I want to ever have to talk to you about ever again. Like, it's to the point where I'm sitting back and I'm actually dreading. Both of our girls now, our two older girls, are in committed relationships. Mm-hmm. So you know what comes next. Right. They're gonna get married next.
Right. Or have kids.
Yep. So it's like, it was so bad that I'm literally, and these are the thoughts that sometimes keep me up at night, that I'm confessing to you all that I haven't even confessed to my husband yet, but I know he's watching, so here's my confession, like Usher. These are the things that bother me, because I know that we're going to have to cross this bridge soon.
Right.
With one
there's
or
always
both,
going to be some type of relationship.
Or both of our girls,
right.
We're going to have to cross this bridge soon. We're going to have to have
deal
weddings and share grandkids, birthdays,
There's
and
always
things like
some
that.
type of relationship.
Like, we're going to have to cross this path soon. And because their divorce was so ugly, and to be quite honest with you, she blames me for their divorce, although I had absolutely nothing to do with it. But you don't never see the other side of it. You just know that she's the chick that he was with when our marriage didn't work. Right. It's like, honey, he was out paying Metro PCS bills for these little heifers way before I came along. Like, he was out here dropping $49 for Metro bills for these bras long before I came along. Right. Don't act like I'm the one that broke your marriage up. I am not the chick that he met and all of a sudden was like, oh my God, put your mama on the phone. That is not how that went. It wasn't me.
That's good.
You might want to go call the little Thundercat that he was dating before me, that put that thing on him, that made him realize that you wasn't putting that thing on him, and he realized he wanted more. It wasn't me.
But see, for me, it was the direct. My exes actually got along. They rather talk to each other than to talk to me. Like, my first wife would talk to my second wife about my daughter coming and this, that, and the other, and I'm still angry about whatever, this, that, and other. She would rather talk to my second wife before she talked. Like, you losing your mind. I can't talk to you. You mad at the world. Like, I went through this period of just being angry, and anybody could get it that caused me any type of heartache. Like, I'm like, nah, blah blah blah. So it was just a snowball effect, and it was just like, for you to be that angry, there still got to be some love there. Because you showing too much anger, not for it to be. So the second wife is like, nah, this something not right. Yeah, I can't completely 100% love you when you still holding on to all this damage and baggage and this, that, and the other.
I guess that's why it's easy for me. Like, my daddy used to tell me all the time, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. And because he used to drill that into me all the time, I started watching. And what he really used to say is, and I'm gonna bleep it out a little bit because I'm trying to get better at about using bad words, because I've been horrible since the end of the year. My daddy used to say, I don't like a ninja enough to hate him.
Right. Right.
And I used to sit back and go, you don't like enough to hate him. And when I finally realized what that meant, it was funny to me, because he's like, hate take emotion. Hate take energy. Hate takes a lot. I don't like you enough to hate you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's where the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference comes in. Because love and hate carries the same amount of emotion.
Yeah.
Indifference does not.
Right.
When you truly just don't care about somebody, that's indifference. When you're like, hey, I wish you the best, much success, no stress, lots of happiness, but kick rocks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you got
That's so tough
when
for
you
me to
got
do,
the big
though.
shine, I don't F with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know karma too real, but so I hope you're doing cool, but I ain't effing with
It's-
you.
it's tough for
That's
me.
when you come to that place of healing, to be
Yeah.
quite honest with you. And until you can get there, you are not healed from that past relationship.
Right.
There is nothing that's healed about that past relationship. If you ever want to say, am I healed? Am I healed enough to move forward? Do you hate your ex? I can't stand that beat. Then nope, you not healed.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I think that's one good thing about being an Aquarius. Because one thing about me, I get to the healed, and I don't want to say indifference point like quick. Once you say you don't want me and you done with me, and paper signed and it's done and over, or you block me or whatever, it's like, okay. I don't hate you. I ain't got nothing against you. I wish you well. I hope everything goes good for you
That's
in your
indifference.
life.
That's indifference.
But see, I don't have the point where I'm like, I don't F with you. It's like, I wish you well. I wished it would have worked with us, but it didn't. I understand. I'm going on with mine. You go on with yours. Hope everything's go well. And I get there. I don't know. I just don't like being woe is me because it ain't gonna do nothing for me.
But if you honest with yourself, when you think about the feelings that you have out when you sit down and think to yourself, there's got to be some feelings.
I
that's
guess
still
I'm
there.
just too.
Not
Oh
that-
yeah,
not
it's
that
feelings, but I
hatred
guess
or
I'm
it's
too.
anything like that. Not that it's you know. But if you hear about certain things that you know that she may be doing, or you know this, that, and the other, you gonna feel some kind of way.
No.
But see,
Come on,
that
bro.
means you're
the-
not healed.
that's
that
the-
means you're not healed.
I know that's what
That's
I'm
the
saying.
thing about me. I don't feel some kind of way because here's my thing. Why should I feel some kind of way about it when it ain't gonna do any good? What's thinking about the past and thinking about the hurt gonna do for me?
I mean,
nothing.
I hear you.
No.
I mean, it's just like, why am I gonna spend my time? Woe is in me.
So you could just move on that quick. You just like, all right, it's done.
I'm maybe
and I
not
can find the
ready
next
to
person.
right. It maybe not be just instantly hop into the next person, but I'm not about to. I don't woe is me over the past because there's nothing I can do to not be divorced, to go back in the past and not get divorced. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. So I'm not going to spend my days trying to figure out how could I fix it so we wouldn't have got divorced. I'm divorced now.
Let me. I'm gonna put something on the table,
Okay,
and
go
just
ahead,
because
go
we're
ahead.
very transparent, and Ty's my brother, and I love him. Your healing process may not be I hate this person or anything like that. Your healing process is passive aggressive. Your healing process, and the reason I can say that is because we see it every week. There are certain topics that we can discuss at this table that will, flare you up.
right.
That will completely flare
Oh
you
yeah, of
up.
course.
And-
I ain't say I ain't had no feelings.
And it's how I know that, okay, he's not healed from that yet. You know what I'm saying? He has, so whereas his might not go to, oh, I hate her and this, that, and the third, there's still amount of not healed yet that he'll deal with. But what
we all still have some sort of baggage, and I don't even want to call it baggage, and I don't even want to call it or trauma. We all have some kind of something that we carry forward.
Trauma.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And
So,
baggage.
yeah,
That's
but
what it
I don't
is.
want to call it trauma
Why?
because
But
not,
that's what it is,
because
Tyler, for
I'm
real.
not it probably is, but I'm not necessarily going to have it hinder what I'm going into. It's not like I'm going to see the ex cheated on me by being on Facebook. So it's not like I'm going to say, well, you on Facebook, so now you're cheating. So not trauma like that. It's always that piece of like hemorrhoidal flare ups. Yeah, we all get a flare up.
So what I'm gonna say is, as the woman,
Right.
As the woman dating the guy that's healing from a relationship, it's not until you can see as a woman his indifference that you're comfortable at that point. Because if you're still seeing his rage and his hate and things like that, you know that he's still carrying something. He's still holding something. And that's where, as women, that's where our insecurities come in at.
Right.
Because if I see you still carrying, especially knowing what I know in my head, knowing that, like I said, my daddy's words ring in my head very often. I don't like a ninja enough to hate him. And the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. Those two things ring in my head very often. So when I hear people be like, I can't stand her and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that's a red flag for me.
But I see at the same time, I feel like it's two ways for a man. If a man is doing just what you did, like, oh, I can't stand her, I hate her. But at the same time, if he's doing too much, like, oh, she was just... Sheila always did this for me. Oh my God, I love the way she baked cookies.
That's just as bad.
Oh, that's
just as bad,
almost worse.
Yeah,
Right.
so it's like, how am I supposed, like you said, to deal with that
it's
on your own time?
indifference. No, but again, it's indifference. You ain't sitting up talking about all the stuff Sheila used to do, and you ain't sitting up talking about how much you hate Sheila and all the stuff Sheila
Right.
didn't do. Why are we talking about Sheila?
Right.
That's the indifference.
Okay.
When we get to the point where, listen, my husband's ex-wife has not been a conversation in our home in years.
And that's what I hate. That's the worst part about new dating that I absolutely hate.
You
that
gotta
I
act
don't
like
even talk
they're
about.
not a non-factor. You gotta act like your ex is a non-factor.
I hate asking about someone ex, and I hate people asking about my ex. I don't want to keep having the same conversation over and over and over again with new people that I date. And I hate when women try to figure out, they ask you that question to try to figure out what's wrong with you. Like,
But do they not have the right to know?
they can.
So is a question like when you get to know somebody new after divorce, you like, so how was your last relationship and how did it end? Is that not a valid question?
Let me tell
That's
you
a
the question.
valid
Let me ask
question,
you.
but when you constantly, you can tell when somebody is just having conversation, and you can tell when someone is trying to figure out what did you do to make things go bad
ahead,
in a
Robert, go ahead.
relationship.
Let me tell
Because
you.
they want to know if you a cheater,
Let
a
me tell
liar,
you what to do.
a crackhead.
Let me tell you what to do. See, the problem is when y'all try to get that information backhanded. If I'm dating somebody that I know has been divorced once or twice or whatever the case may be, it's not just a question of red flags. It's a question of maturity for me at that point. I would legitimately ask, what role did you play in y'all divorce?
Then I would.
And wait a minute. And let me tell you the reason why I would ask that question. What was your role in your divorce? Because we've already stated that everybody has some percent of responsibility.
Right.
And if you can't tell me what you were responsible for, because even if she cheated on you with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, Ralph, and Johnny, why?
Yeah. So here's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. That's a good
That's a
approach,
good
but ain't nobody gonna honestly give you the honest answer.
I do, because when people ask me about my divorces, I never talk about what my exes do. Never. I always tell them up front. I said, I'm not the type of person that's gonna talk bad about my exes, because those are my kids' mothers. But what I did in it, and I can only tell you my part in of why we broke up, and I explained my part. Now, when they start trying to deep dive and want to know what she did, then that's just too much. You trying to get to know me.
But-
I'm telling you my issues and what's
So,
going on.
I need you to
and I
understand.
don't do drama whatsoever. So there has never been a relationship in mine where there was drama between my current, and my past.
As a woman, Ty, let me tell you the twofold to that. One of the reasons we want to know is, especially if we see this relationship going somewhere, if there was something that she did that you did not like, if it was something that she did that you were not happy with, if there was something that she did was the complete was your line, right? We want to know that if we're trying to be with you, because we want to make sure that either we don't cross your line or it's not a hard stop for us, like, right. Okay, you want somebody that's gulping for 4 hours a day every day. All right, my dog, I work during the day. I ain't got that type of time. I can give you about an hour, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, something like that. Not that extreme, but we want to know whether your line or what you left her for is something that we can accommodate for the end of the day. Wait, I'm not done.
Okay, but that's another thing about, and I'm not talking about everybody else, and I get that, and that's true, that's right. But I'm the type of person, ask me. I'll tell you. When I say I'm an open book, ask me, I'm gonna tell you. If you want to know what I like, what I don't like, what it is about my relationships that I want, I'm gonna be open, honest, and I will let you know.
My thing, what the thing is, you kind of want to know both sides, because it's funny. I'm looking at my husband in the comments, and it says he put a comment that says, "If you ask me, I'll tell you the truth. I will own my philandering." I do agree with that. If you ask him, he will tell you. However, there are things that I had to find out the hard way. There were things about him that could have just as easily been the cause of how she was acting in their marriage. That was his fault.
Right.
And he didn't admit none of that. It was things that I had to find out on my own, that when I stepped back and looked back, I was like, could it possibly be that, she wasn't the devil incarnate and it was your fault that this happened because you did X, Y, and Z? So us as women, we try really hard to deep dive so we don't have to find out those type of things on the back end. Now, however,
ask me
when we
have a conversation, get to know me. Don't try to.
But not all men
do
that. Like I said, my husband is a pretty honest guy, but even in our marriage, I had to find out some things that I was like, you didn't disclose that to me.
I don't like being, just like when I went to, after my first marriage, and we went to friend of the court. Lord knows I hate friend of the court whatsoever. I don't like being treated like everyone else. You haven't taken any time to actually get to know me or ask me any questions. You just gonna treat me like everybody else. And that's what I hate about friend of the court. You go down there, they treat everybody like they deadbeat dads. You walk in there, they automatically assume you a deadbeat, and that's what you in there. And they give you the deadbeat, bend over, no grease treatment.
No, that's just what
but
it is.
I don't like that. I'm an individual. I'm different from your ex or your next. I'm me.
I mean,
you want to know about me?
All right, fellas, we up on our final thoughts. It is literally 8:59.
This is my bad.
Mike Jones, what you got?
So, I was just gonna say, I know where I'm so happy that I know where I stand present day, because it's just not fair to the next. I know for a fact that I will never in 3 million years say the words I do to anybody. You would literally have to, I would have to be drugged. Y'all, it's something wrong with Mike if you ever get invited to a wedding of mine. It's somebody put the whammy on me. So
okay,
I'm just saying. But I know that, so that I'm glad I know that about myself. So any next relationship, whatever it is, this is what it is. If you want to get married, I am not the guy for you. If you want to live in the same, you want me to move in with you, I am not the guy for you. It's going to be my world, my way, so I don't have to worry about the anxiety of starting over again, because I'm not doing that again. Fine. You want to move in or this, that, and the other? No, we're not doing that. No, absolutely not. No. and that's gonna be upfront. And if that means I have to go through life just me by myself, I am perfectly fine with it.
Okay.
Well,
He does not have closure and has not healed.
Obviously, and I know that. And it does suck, but it's just like I'd rather be honest than go through another 10 years of my life hurting somebody else, because ultimately that's what I did. I went from one marriage to the next, bringing all that crap that I brung from the old marriage to the new one, plus all the new developments, to put that all on one person.
Is this still your final thought?
Yeah, this is my final thought. Don't get married.
long final thought.
Yeah, I'm
Tad?
Well, you all know, I'm out there. I'm a free agent. I haven't signed any contracts yet, speaking to the community and the streets. But if you all want to bypass all the BS, I guess in our inboxes, I'm starting a new segment called Ask Ty. Y'all just start asking me questions. I'm an open book. I'll answer anything. Just get to know me.
Nobody wants to get to know you.
Even if you don't like me, even if you think you know me, send a question my way. I answer it.
So my final thought is
That
actually
goes to family and friends. Even if you want to ask me if you like me, if I like them, that's including family. Some of y'all feelings may get hurt. But.
So my final thought is actually going to be relevant to the topic.
We talking about relationships. I'm talking about my relationship with my JOO family.
My final thought is going to be relevant to the topic. What I will say with dealing with divorce and trying to cross over into dating after divorce is take your time. As you can see from the fellas sitting at this table, healing is very, very important. Yeah. It is important that you heal from the relationship, you heal within yourself, because if not, you just gonna be bitter like the guys at the table.
I ain't bitter.
Just make sure
a little sour, but may not be bitter.
Make sure.
I done grown from bitter.
Can I have my final thought? Make sure.
Can I at least be pickle juice?
Make
little
sure.
vinegary.
Make sure that you heal. And that is my final thought. Because you don't want to be them. Heal before you start dating. Because I don't even think these were final thoughts. They was just rantings and ravings of sour men.
It's easy to heal when you marry a crackhead.
Just heal.
And what's your next husband? Don't be a crackhead.
Heal.
Definitely heal.
It's a lot of. It's a real bitter tension at this table.
And I ain't bitter. I may be sour or vinegary.
No, I'm very bitter.
I may be salt and vinegar chips.
I'm not,
but I'm a long way from bitter.
I'm not as bitter, but I'm definitely bitter.
I may be a little salty. Yeah, I can say salty.
Okay.
Not bitter.
Anyway, y'all know we got the Taste of Black Spirits coming up at the end of the month, the 24th and 25th. We got Liquid on the 24th. We got Taste of Black Spirits on the 25th. Liquid will be at the Charles H. Wright Museum starting at 5 p.m. The Taste of Black Spirits event will be at the Garden Theater. I believe it's a 6 p.m. start. It's either 5 or 6 p.m. start time. Both you can buy tickets on Eventbrite. I want to see everybody in the building. I want y'all to come by the table. I want y'all to kick it with us. I want to see everyone in the building for the Taste of Black Spirits event and for Liquid. Also, don't forget this coming weekend, we have bottle signings and tastings at Park Place Liquor on Evergreen and 10 Mile. On Friday at 5 p.m., you'll be able to meet one of the co-owners of Duke and Dame Salted Caramel Whiskey. On Saturday, you will be able to meet the owner of Island John Vodka. 1 p.m. on Saturday, 5 p.m. on Friday. Make sure y'all are in the building. Come through, buy you a bottle, get your bottle signed, meet the owners. It's gonna be amazing. Last but not least, we got the beautiful Miss Mara coming to the table next week. I'm so excited about that. We'll be able to discuss her new book. We're gonna talk about the toxicities in relationships. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to welcome her to the table. You know her from Grey's Anatomy. Anatomy. You know her from Scandal. You know her from shows on OWN. Like the woman has a resume out here. So Black Girl Magic, we are representing Black History Month to the fullest with these Black owned brands, with these Black owned owners, with these movie stars, Hollywood stars. We are representing Black history to the fullest on JOO. Be sure to tune in for all the things that we have going on this month. I am so excited. I am so happy, and I'm just honored to be a part of these things.
Absolutely.
Thank you for kicking it with us today. This has been Just Our Opinion with Robin,
Mike,
And Ty.
Peace.
Deuces.